Hello, 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 everybody. What is up? It's Wednesday night. It's one of our favorite days of the week. We're midway through the week. We're almost there to the weekend. Just 2 more days and we're home free. This is Knightcast, and hope everybody is having a magnificent Wednesday night. Of course, as always, I'm your host, Anime Night, and as always, joined by me, Silent Joker, the Final Fantasy walking encyclopedia, who is also a DMC
Not
fan.
really. I will play like 13, 7, and then 16. So that's the wrong
he's
thing. I do
he
love my
he's
Final Fantasy, but I haven't played
he's
everything.
he's slowly becoming one. But
Eh,
if you have a question about
there are
those
other people for that.
if you have a question about those four
Well,
games, he's the man to go to.
anyways, there's happy Wednesday, everybody. 2 days until Halloween. So hopefully
Yes.
you got your cousins picked out or trick or treating. As for me, I'll do my usual horror marathon like I've been always been attempting to do, or if I just keep forgetting, like this year. There's another one of those years that I forgot to start my horror marathon. But that's okay. I've been playing Silent Hill F, so that's great. And the previous stream that I did, oh boy, that was very mental, very psychological. Yeah, this did what Downpour did, but so much better with poor Hinako. Poor Hinako. That segment, Fire Devil showed up at that wrong time, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "This is Silent Hill, man." They pushed the boundaries for that one.
Yes, they did.
You have no
Yes,
idea
they
what I'm talking
did.
about, dude. You have don't even have this. You have no idea what the scene I'm describing about. He's just going, "Oh, yes." When you
I'm
see it,
sorry.
when you play it, it was like,
Okay.
"What the hell?" But anyways, we do got some news to go along, and this one to me, we're gonna start up right here. I just gotta say, wow, this one's a little depressing for me because Anime America and a few others are reporting that Born Out Anderson, this is a guy who's been dubbed known for the haunted portrayal of Tizayo in Death of Venice, but he was labeled as one of the most beautiful boy in the world, and you can tell clearly some of our favorite mangas took inspiration from him to create Griffith and a few others. So, and even me comparing these three, I don't know all the names, but it's like I could see it actually, and that's very sad to know someone who inspired someone your favorite characters or the artists who drew from has sadly passed away. I mean that's kind of that's sad, man. That's sad. Lived a long life though. That's a long life right here.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I heard this and I'm like, wow. I was shocked because it's amazing where the inspiration comes from. Because you often wonder where did the template come from, and it goes to show, um, like how this one photo on at the very top inspired the other three, and that's actually and it shows like the complexity, the detail of how they make it so elegant. I'm pretty sure, uh, Bajorn was really recognized throughout, like, in public, like, he couldn't like, I bet you 9 times out of 10, he was probably stopped a few times, like, "Hey, we know who you are," and and everything in between, but it's so sad. We always hear, like, the actors, the manga artists, and even the creators themselves. But this is really and this shows how much deeper anime really is.
Well, it's not just anime; it goes across all forms of entertainment. Without the smiling man, we would not have obviously the Prince of Crime himself, the Joker, which is a very much a controversial movie, even though when I watched, I'm like, well, what's controversial about the Smiley Man? But then if I go rewatch it again, I'll be like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And then a few others, or The Man Who Smiled, that's kind of the film that you're kind of looking out for right there. But you go across entertainment, it's not just, it's the world of art and literature. You have no idea like where the inspiration came from. Like for example, Mad Max is actually, I can't remember the film that my coworker at Family Video once said that there's a film that George Miller watched that the ending was so messed up that it kind of inspired Mad Max. I'm like, really? That one? I'm like, okay, okay. Even David said last night for well, the previous night for Knightcast. So like, we got a little bit of West Side Story. He's like, there was an actual crime that did inspire West Side Story. I'm like, yeah, it's out there, and so on and so forth. So, so but but it goes a lot deeper because you never know where things are gonna have that spark, that inspiration. And for this gentleman right here, uh, may you rest in peace. You lived a good life, and hopefully you met the fans that said that, hey, you're like the inspiration for some of these characters that across entertainment and that in literature that people really took a liking to you. So rest in peace, good sir. I wish you the best for those who have known him, those who are still with him, and so on and so forth. Like, it's sad when this happens. It's very sad when this happens.
Also, big hello to various Dan and Sarah George. But yes, it is very sad. Rest in peace, Bonjourn.
I hope you knew that the fans love him. But speaking about like anime manga, there's a lot right now, so we'll try to go for a quick lightning fast for some of these. But apparently, the creators of Absolute, like one of the artists for Absolute Batman, said he wants Studio Trigger to create an anime adaptation of their Absolute comic book series. I wish Phoenix was here right now, or Vaughn, or whoever, but I'm hearing some positive things about the Absolute lineup for DC. And one of the artists is like, hey, let's get Studio Trigger to work on it. I'm like, really? That? Not Madhouse, not Science Sura,
Hey,
I mean, like
Buzz.
all the others, but you want Trigger? I mean, hey, Trigger did a fantastic job of course, of Cyberpunk, of Edge Runners, which I absolutely love, and that did very much revitalize the interest for 2077 and onwards. So I'm gonna say he's got the right idea, but we'll have to see if that ever comes into fruition for the future. It's wishful thinking.
Yeah, Absolute Batman. Oh, actually, this would be very interesting. We'll have to wait and see, though. Studio Trigger, a wonderful company and distribution and everything. They're behind a lot. They're behind a lot of really amazing anime.
Okay, well, this one, but but before we get to move on for more anime, if
Hey,
those
Raquel.
who are very much disappointed in a lot of the whatever White Wolf is doing over there with some of their properties, this is yet another failure for them. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which was a live service battle royale, is shutting down stores. Come on, do better. Yes, there have been some multiplayer games for Vampire the Masquerade back in the old PC era, back in the good old day, but again, I keep saying this in an era where so many different live service games are out there, where the battle royale genre really hit its peak during pretty much early PUBG and early Fortnite. It is hard to stick out these days, and I guess with the Vampire Masquerade Bloodline, they try to do something, but sadly, you're done. All that time and money spent down the drain. I don't know if it was good or not. I have yet to play it. But for those who did play it, please let us know in the comments below that was this really a good game? Did everybody miss out on something? or was it horribly mismanaged like so many others out there?
Oh boy. This is just another one of those moments where it's like, why are why are we doing this? And I heard a lot of good things about Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. I heard a lot of good things about it, but this right here is this here is another long line of companies not knowing what the hell they're doing or preservation of the games. It's another it's just gonna be on the shelf. That's it. It's like, sorry, we're shutting down the servers. No need to play it. But what can you? This is why people are starting to push for more single player games. There's a big push going for it still, and it's just tragic.
It is what it is. Like I said, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, but that's what it is. But anyway,
Hey,
more positive down the line. It's been a very good year for anime fans and international cinema out there. Not to mention that with the Nizan too, which I failed to see that in my theater, but I was able to see the first film on Netflix because the next day I was going to go see it, but I forgot to go see it, and I was like, oh, I'll see it next week. It'll still be in there, but it was gone by the time I wanted to go see it. But thankfully, with Demon Slayer doing well, the box office, domestically speaking, and Chainsaw right now, Chainsaw has now crossed at least 100 million global box office. Granted, some of the other sites will be updated later, but I do want to show you proof because, like, hold on right here. Well, blow me up quickly. Blow me up quickly. I have seen this film twice, actually. Got the proof right here. So, first night, we had a lot of different people, so it was a good crowd for Chainsaw Man. The other night, I took my bite to it, and we were the only ones there, so hopefully the good word of mouth spreads. But this just shows to you how popular anime has become the last 10 to 15 years, but also the past 10 to 15 years later, we would have never have seen these numbers. Want to know why? Take me off.
oh,
Because, take a look at this. This is right now. A lot of the stuff will be updated later down the line. Granted, they're not always accurate, but when things are finally done, it will be updated. So give another week or two, we'll see the numbers go. Like, this is Chainsaw right now. I know it says 100, but it's at 65, but it will be updated later. But if you just want to look at your domestic growth right now, these are still some positive numbers to see and how many theaters are still in. But let's look at Demon Slayer. You want to look at Demon Slayer? Holy crap! Look at those numbers. Look at those numbers. And that's like all time, like domestic growth here. Like that's still impressive compared to the international numbers. Like think about that. The highest grossing film of anime is Demon Slayer yet again. But look at the numbers compared to here between this before. Like let me find the other one for Demon Slayer, from where we were previously,
yeah.
that people were saying that, oh, but we got it right now. We kind of did and did not get it for Demon Slayer quite yet. Okay, let's see it. That was like pre-COVID or post-COVID or during the lockdowns. Demons. Here we go. Daha. Here it is. Compared to the last movie.
Oh,
So do a comparison. So 498 million compared to the
damn, that's a
Infinite.
huge jump.
It is a
That's a
huge
huge
jump.
increase.
That is a huge increase, but you have to remember that people are going to say, but Superman failed to beat Demon Slayer. Let me do the how many times must I tell people about this? Play the clip.
And let me find it.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
We are comparing apples and oranges, but not to mention that Demon Slayer is a freaking hot property. Everybody knows this. How massive Demon Slayer is for the manga, the anime, the cosplay community. You know how big this is. And compared to the numbers, again, from the first movie back in 2020 to this, it only shows and prove how popular it has gotten over the years. Like we said, you go back 5 years ago, this is still impressive. We saw those numbers for Demon Slayer, and try to find the some of the Ghibli numbers. Ghibli did very well as well, but at the same time, you know, I could look again if you want to look at the numbers as well. This stuff will be updated over time and everything. Compared to stuff like Studio Ghibli, which is what we always get here, but also Ghibli had those partnership with Miramax, and you know Disney Pixar back in the day. Even G Kids now, those numbers are pretty well. But Demon Slayer breaking box office records, that is unheard of, to also doing much better than Ghibli. Besides, you know, Ghibli getting all big A-list actors and everything, and B-list, which is wonderful, by the way. But Demon Slayer breaking these records is like, that's impressive. Shows you theaters are still like, hey, we should pick up this property, see what goes out there. And of course, good word of mouth will spread around, especially if your theater never got one of these. And now it's like, hey, you got one, you should be spreading the good word about this.
Yes,
And that's
indeed.
great. Even Chainsaw doing well. I was like, yes.
Yes.
And Chainsaw for that week, depending, and not to mention all those other movies were out for a while, Chainsaw being number one at the box office was still impressive. I thought, you know, Black Phone 2 was going to take it back again. It was like, I guess I was wrong. I was wrong. It took it back. So to see this after years, for those who keep whining about that, we're not popular, we're not mainstream, it's wonderful. Hey, Jeremiah, what's up, brother?
Hello,
Hey.
I'm all right. I'm doing okay. I'm happy for all the anime stuff that y'all are talking about.
I thank you.
Yeah.
So
Miss the old school stuff, though.
It's impressive to see. So hopefully we'll get more, at least in my city, we'll get more anime films in the later years, depending on who's distributing them, to possibly more red carpet see. I mean, outside of that, it's like been outside of Ghibli, you got some of the My Hero Academia movies, and I think that's about it. Like in recent years,
Actually, Joker,
a few others.
Actually, Joker, I did look ahead to December. I think it's either November or December. Girls on Panzer is getting a theatrical film.
Okay, we'll see how long.
Oh, cool.
So
okay, we'll see if that makes it to the sides or not.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna go out and support, because I hope my theater gets it too. I hope it gets it, because recently my theater did get Demon Slayer, and now this one. We're both playing it, and my boss is looking at me and he was like, "Are you sure about this?" I'm like, "Don't underestimate the anime fan.
Also, you got to promote it, so you got to promote it too as well. So very happy we're seeing some good things come out of this. So with that, it's still the month of horror, and another horror game is coming out. Well, at least it's been announced. Dark Woods 2, the sequel to the original game, has been announced. So this is kind of like those top-down, like kind of like survival horror a little bit. So it's very much, you know, exactly like this. You got to make some tough decisions, but also I've seen some walkthroughs of this. They're very good, but also at the same time, you got to be more survival. Especially, you got to go back to your hideout or the safe area. But every night, you need to make a choice: do I go out and explore, or do I, save up stuff and also defend your little home? So it's very good. So it's nice to see.
Sounds like an improvement over Zelda. You know, the original, not the,
Yeah, and I always love the descriptions. They do horror stuff like this. It always creeps me out. is what goes to the mind of somebody. So
That's pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. All right, moving on. So this is one that it's still confirmed to be coming out. There is a Crash, allegedly, there's a Crash animated series in the works, but here's a quick update. It's not going to be by, Wild Brain Studios. So they just confirmed saying that, well, there's a Crash series, we're not animating this. So, okay, that's fine. So I think it was still too early to say that who was animating it. So I'm glad there's clarification, but now I got to ask a question to the Crash guy over here. What kind of style or format you're looking for Crash to be in? Because you can't do stuff like Skylanders was like that big adventure stuff. You have to remember, this is Crash. What are we looking for?
Personally, I would like to see it in like the cartoonish animated style that we nearly got. We almost had we nearly had a Crash cartoon under Activision, but for whatever reason, Activision being Activision Joker, they shut it down. But we saw what it was going to be about. Keep it in that style. Cartoony, zany, how it represents the brand. But I am okay with like the 3D animation, kind of like how it's looking right now, and Skylanders 2, if you want to just go for it. However, I'd be happy either way as long as it keeps the charm of what makes Crash funny, of what it's going for and everything. However, I'm open to it. But hear me on this. No live action. Make it animated. It works better that way. Believe me. I mean, we already have the Crash Guy mascot already. We already have that. I'm okay with that. But jokes aside, I feel like a cartoonish style, like really fluid animation. You can even do cell animated, like cell shading and all that. That would work too. Make the characters really pop. And I could see it working as long as they know what they are doing. Because remember, Crash Bandicoot is one of the big IPs out there. And my fingers are crossed that someone good and someone recognizable that knows how the game goes.
Yeah, that's the key
I'm very excited though. I'm very
thing
excited.
there.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited and nervous about it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yep. You were saying, Jeremiah?
yeah, because it could be like that. It could be like that scene in that what's that cartoon? The Hill,
Hey,
not
Byron.
Bunker Hill. You know what I mean? The show where the geeky kid is living with his brother or something, and he goes to the movies and see the movie does so wrong with portraying the characters of the comic book or whatever he reads, and it's like, you know, she doesn't do it then, she does it then, and it's like, you know, uh, geeks and nerds always know when things are supposed to be, how things are supposed to be of the subject, but when you get someone that doesn't know the game, doesn't know the comic book series or whatever, they always ruin it.
That is absolutely correct. So if the fans know exactly what the thing is, and that's what we always keep saying, they should get the fans back into some of these rooms or whatnot. It would be very much helpful for everything out there. It's cool.
Exactly.
See,
that's my point.
I think I would take that versus some of the more, what Illumination, a few others are trying to do. Like I do like CG stuff, but the style of CG that you see from Pixar and Disney and a few others, they have definitely reached their limit with that artistic design, and it's not really improving. It feels a little bit too flat, a little bit too samey, but it doesn't mean that some of the production values can be good. Even in Pixar's Soul, I was still more impressed by New York and some of this in a few shots, along with the actual Soul world that they were in. I can't remember exactly what they're in. So I felt like that stuff
Yeah,
was good. It's more of the art style, like of the visual language. So that's why we keep saying a lot of the 2D stuff has aged so wonderfully because it was hand drawn, or they were still experimenting with the digital stuff before things went full blown computer CGI. So,
right.
but when you
Well, yeah,
exactly,
like I mentioned earlier about the original Zelda with that other thing. It's like the original Zelda game was in pixels and everything, and then they went 3D with Ocarina of Time, and you know, the
But this
Ocarina of
is the
Time
style I
still,
would. Oh, go ahead, Jeremiah.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say Ocarina of Time is 3D and everything, and looks. It could look, depending on the person that's looking at it, could look terrible compared to the original 8-bit pixelated Link and everything. It, it's how you think of it. It's perception,
Exactly that.
really.
Plus, mhm, and this it reinforces it because look at the crate. Look at the crate. It's everything.
Right.
This is preferably Joker. This is preferably the style I would most definitely go for in terms of because Cortex is so cartoonish, and you that's the style you want to go with, and he's all and Crash. See, this is the Crash right here. So
Yeah.
for the animators, whoever's animating, this is the style right here that would make the absolute most sense. Make it pop, make it good. This looks clean, and he still has presence, and it rectifies the game. It represents. Oh, sorry, it represents. Not rectifies. Sorry, it
Yeah.
represents the game itself, and they knew what they were doing. And get this, Joker, this is the test animation that Activision shot down
oh, there you go.
for the
The
cartoon.
Netflix could revitalize because Activision obviously has been bought
They just
by
can't be
Microsoft,
bothered.
and if Netflix is still going through with this, finalizes and say that we want that again and go into that direction. But again, still early on in development, just announced. Even though this is not the studio that's working on it, that is completely fine. So there's still time. Speaking about there's still time, there's still like a couple more years before we see the new Superman, Man of Tomorrow film, the bridge film before we get to the true sequel. But apparently, there's some early caption restriction that hits at Brainiac or Mongo being the villain. Makeup prosthetics being used.
Ooh,
So makeup and prosthetics used on the antagonist, and strong build and structures. So obviously, we anime we have debated who do we want to see in this Man of Tomorrow or stuff. Obviously, we are getting the power suit for Lex, so obviously it has to be Brainiac in general, but doesn't mean you can't have two villains like Brainiac watching and everyone
Yeah.
guy hinting out who's going to come later for a Justice League sequel or a Superman sequel. So I kind of like the idea of having two or just having just one because it's a good idea. And I think that could be the right direction for either villain's choice.
they could do what X-Men Legends did in that post credits scene when they had Apocalypse come into view for the second game. They could do it like that as well. We would still get Brainiac looking majestic in the post credit and give him a few lines like, and now's the time, Superman. And then you see his ship and everything heading to Earth. That's a great way to build hype to that because I feel like if you put two villains on the screen, it doesn't balance well. Lex Luthor is his own person. I hope the same actor plays him again. I loved him. He was perfect.
Nicholas Colt did share along with James and David 3 images that was done by Jim Crow. I was just that's not his name. Jim for the Dragon comic book for comic books. Yep, he's coming back. So Nicholas is coming back no matter what for this movie. So that's wonderful. But I got some One Piece news, both for anime. So here's a key visual for the next arc. It's called it's the Alpha Arc. Sorry, some of the names are hard to pronounce. But this time we got a break coming in. The anime series will be on break from January to March, returning in April 2026. This adaptation will also limit its broadcast to 26 episodes per year, and each episode will adapt one chapter of the manga. Now, to be fair for the One Piece manga, it's definitely going to be ending sometime either this year or next year, and that's why they're probably doing it, because, well, also Oda Sensei's health was, he had to take a break for a while to recover. Hopefully he's better now, and the ending is near. And with how many arcs they have left for the current stuff, it is best to slow down right now and just, don't rush it, because you don't want to rush ending and then everybody gets upset because, oh, it's anime original ending. No. And then you have an Inuyasha situation or Bleach where we're waiting for a while to get a proper anime ending.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want that. I feel like the January to March is a perfect break to have. Take a break. It's a 3-month break, and I'm all for it. That way everybody can relax. Things are still and build up towards the April release, which is good to have. And hopefully Oda Sensei takes a break during that 3 months. That man is so busy. Every time I turn around, he's doing something else. And I'm like, do you just not know the word stop and take a break?
He does know the word stop. It's just that One Piece has been taking so long to get done. It's very understandable because don't forget, the series is literally island hopping, and don't forget, for even anime fans, literally on Netflix, you can go on Netflix right now, watch all of One Piece, and they will literally put up, here are the arcs, and here's anime original, and here's anime original number 2. So if you want to skip all the filler, there you go. But at the same time, I don't blame them. I'm just hoping for the actual manga, when it does end, it feels satisfying for long-time viewers, and hopefully Oda can just relax. And even he said he will not make a manga as long as One Piece again. So that's a promise he's made to himself. But at the same time, there's some other grand news. We're going to be going to the Grand Line on March 10th of next year, and lo and behold, we have posters for all of the major arcs this time around. Lodgetown, this is them in the Grand Line. We're in the whale. I can't remember the name. We got the Giants, which they have to get through this area with the Giants. You got Drum Island. I can't remember. Is that Alabama? No, it's not Alabasta, but I can't remember all the places. It's been so long. I have to keep watching the anime or just remember what's the arc. But part of this is the rest of East Blue to Alabasta, because even season 1 adapted half of East Blue in a very fast, quickly manner. So here we go. The big event is coming. We will get to Alabasta soon. They're doing a very good job of keeping a couple of the characters still hidden, even though a lot of them have been cast already, too. We've seen a few, but I'm still a little bit nervous for Chopper. Chopper looked great in the teaser. He's going to look way better now. But at the same time, where is Firefist Ace? Who is playing Ace?
Yes.
I have a theory, and it is somebody from Cobra Kai, because Inaki did show up for Cobra Kai when they were filming. And, if it's McKenyu, I actually no, not kidding you. If it's the guy who what was his name? One of the kids. I'm like, okay, I'll be fine with one of them. One of them's got the right height a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see. So it is weird for me to say that Netflix is doing a better job with this versus The Witcher. Ugh. Because as even as the Phoenix would say, the writers for The Witcher just want to make a Yennefer show and never cared. The writers over here seem to care, but that's also because Oda Sensei's on this project. Like we said, Oda's so busy doing a bunch of stuff. I'm still glad he's still attached to the show and said, no, you're not going to make changes without my permission, which is good. That's how it should always be.
Yes,
Yeah.
the creators need to step in and be like, hey, this is how we're going to do it my way.
And that's why I like the people. That's why I like the people that made Back to the Future. You know, they're like, after the third one, that's it. You can't make any more unless we die or something. But
that
no
is true
more.
statement.
That,
Not lying, folks.
you know,
That to me, that scares the living crap out of me. They even had to do that. But Jeremiah's right. There are literally they had paperwork. It's all signed and everything, and it's like you cannot make 4 anymore until we die.
yeah.
I know some people also said that that's why they waited for Gene to sadly pass away for Wonka, which I think that's just I think that's a rumor. I don't know if any of that's true, but I still like the Wonka
Gene
movie.
Roddenberry.
Other people might
Gene
disagree.
Wilder. Son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who
Gene
knows?
Wilder was. I miss him.
He was great, man. He was great.
Well, Gene Wilder and John Candy and the like are just, you know, you can't have a good movie without them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I agree. That's why I'm still glad they nailed certain film parts, but that's about it. But speaking right now, what's downloading my phone right now is the update. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I wish Fire Devil wasn't here because Devil and I do play this game and he loves the characters for obvious reasons. I'm getting back into it completely. So this is the 3rd anniversary for Goddess of Victor Nikkei starting right now because maintenance is all done. So update your games right now on PC or mobile, and so you can get into the game. And for the 3rd anniversary, well, we don't have one queen, we have 2. This is the Rapture Queen that the New Hope. His name was John. What was that? The previous commander they thought was going to be the New Hope for the Arc. So this is what the old guard right here. You have right here. You know, Snow White, Scarlet, and Rapunzel. These are for the pilgrimage, along with. Oh my God! Hold on a second. She's on the tip of my tongue. God, what the? Oh my God! I play the game, but I don't. Oh, there we go. Maria.
Oh.
Or basically what she's known in the other game as. I forgot what her Rapture name was, but she's fighting alongside with the dragon Nikki. Well, this one turns into a dragon, for Pete's sake. And then you have the pilgrimage from Eden to Crown's Kingdom. They look like they're going to be fighting the Rapture Queen. So that's like the old guard to like the new pilgrimages. That even Dorothy, if I can find, I don't think it's Dorothy in this. Dorothy should be in this picture somewhere, but looks like they'll be finding the Queen. But it looks like I can't find this elsewhere. But the Beast Queen, if you play this, the other chapters show that we got more raptured Nikis that are dubbed the Beast, and it looks like they've created their own queen in some shape or way or form. So you don't have one queen to look out for; you got 2. So this is like the big anniversary update that I told Devil that after the summer update, I was like, I'm going to predict it. I said I'm going to predict it. Next few major updates, we'll probably see a continuation of the story finally. To I'd say the third anniversary might give us something special. Lo and behold, I was on the money. I just didn't know what special was going to be, but wow, this is great. But at the same time, Niki's been giving us updates to the actual game now because it's been over 3 years, and I'm sure some people are getting. We'll get to that later. Of some of the power creep that's coming, because don't forget, it's still a gotcha. They still got to make their money somehow in some way. But thankfully, for some of them, they've realized it. A few patches ago, they made a patch update that was going to be a simple, will reduce some of the power level requirements, so things will be a bit more easier. They've also added in now what's soon to be coming very soon. I think this is within the current updates. If this will ever freaking show this, I hate how my internet's slow from time to time. There we go. Probably because I'm also downloading something. They'll introduce a story mode. So for those who, so this will make it a lot easier. Obviously, this will change from what they're trying to show to the actual gameplay. Because if you play the actual game on normal, which is the standard mode, this is how many raptors you have to fight, depending on the power level. And sometimes you'll fight so many in a row, be like, oh my goodness, I barely survived that. What's the next one? And it might just be a couple hundred higher than yours, and you just pull your hair going, no! But thankfully, I think this will be a great way for people to get into the story and to also catch up faster. But it's Niki. They've done well. They know their audience. And for me, as a Niki fan, I'm happy to see where the story's going. And if you're also going to say, but what if I missed the story, Joker? Here's the thing. Unlike some games that might be like, oh, you missed it, watch it on YouTube or something like that. I do like a feature that they do have is that despite everything you are going to get, you can actually replay some of the content you did miss for the updates.
Ooh.
So if you missed summer ones, Valentine's, Halloween, Christmas a little bit, you can just find the item that it's very easy to get, because it's just one of those things you send out Nikis to for a couple of hours, they come back. You can easily, replay stuff over and over again for some of the updates. So, and that's kind of like a fast way to get caught up. Some of them you don't have to play, but if you want to figure out what happened on a certain event called Overwatch, Overlook, it's one of those sad tales, man. And want to find out what happened to Cinderella and a few others, that's a great way. Whew, sorry, that's a long speak, but I'm the Niki guy here, and I wish Fire Devil was here. So I wish he was here. But that's Niki. I do like it. So the thing, this is one of those games that people freaked out on Twitter, go like, oh my god, look at that. The gameplay's pretty simple. And I went from a C-list story to probably a good high B to almost A in certain areas. So they know their audience. They know what they're doing.
That's cool. I would, from what you said, I thought of when you play certain games, you don't care about the story as much, and some you do, and like Legend of Zelda, you care less about the story than you do about what item you're buying and all that, and can you read the guy saying what you're buying and all, but usually I could play that game with it being all in Japanese because it's not as important. But when it's a game like Dragon Quest or something like that, it's really difficult to play with not knowing the language, And so, but that ties into the story, is what I'm saying. It's like, if you want to know the story, you can. And that feature sounds like a neat feature to go back if you need to, if you miss something,
Exactly. So good luck.
Yeah.
Good God. So congratulations, Shift Up, for surviving 3 long years. And obviously, last year we did have the Stellar Blade and Nikki crossover where you got to fight Scarlet because Scarlet's our only melee Nikki. And my goodness, she's a good boss battle fight. So, but anyway, I found a fun update, or found an interesting story for this one. So apparently, the writer for Cruel Angel thesis for Neon Genesis Evangelion, Okiwa Nico, apologized for not watching the anime after 30 years. It's been 30 years since I wrote the intro. As of today, I still yet to watch Ava. Sorry. Well, okay. No rush,
Oh,
but no rush. You know, even
I
some
mean,
people who, I mean, I look at David Fincher. He's yet to even watch some of his old films. He refuses to watch Fight Club again. He's like, no, I'm not going to watch it.
Wasn't there a woman that did that as well, where she did I think Friday the 13th or something, and she
Yeah,
didn't want
the
to watch any
original
of the movies.
Claymore Voorhees.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, kind of like the
I'll
story
give
for
a
her.
shout to
Oh,
Minty.
sorry.
I'll give a shout out to Minty for telling me about that, because his show where he posts videos about different movies, 10 things you didn't know about Superman or something like that. It's like cool stuff. And he's from Australia, and he posts some good movie related things, and that's one of the things I learned from him. He's also on X. I forget his full thing. It's Minty Productions or something.
And I,
I can send y'all a link to him
oh, cool.
later.
Thanks.
But
I'm well. At least, here's the thing, though. You can't fault her for her honesty,
right.
and and I hope that she had some people in there, because I mean, I may not be a writer, but I have some idea how difficult it is to write something that you know little about. Hopefully, the other people she was in there with had a clue of like what Evangelion is, and guided her through it. Like, hey, just follow it from here as best as you can, and it's still good. Movie's still good
Yeah.
regardless of everything, and it's not a crime to admit that you haven't watched it. I mean, there's a lot of things that I haven't watched that almost make Joker have a heart attack, and everything in between. But I can't fault the honesty. Can't fault it. And I have watched it too, so just to be fair here, I have watched it. But it's very interesting how like tidbits come out so many years later about all our favorite films and everything, whether it be the anime or the ones that Joker and I and many others grew up watching. There's like literally new info coming out, and this is what I like new the scenes, like a closer look into like the behind the scenes and everything. But to Okinawa Neko, no one's gonna being honest, okay? It's okay.
Yeah.
We understand. We get it. There's so much to watch. And
Yeah.
it is a very big series to watch. So personally, I do not blame you.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of good shows like that too. It's like Gundam and everything else. They all have a lot of story and a lot of different story arcs and everything. And it's like can't just you can't watch it all and expect to know everything.
There's some movies I failed to watch or like shows I've never gotten into, but when people
Yeah.
like my when I tell people to watch after got a coworker of mine, like me and one of my coworkers, we absolutely love Avatar: The Last Airbender, and when the Netflix show came out,
Oh yeah.
we were very excited. We had some things to say about that, but when we were talking to people about this at work, but like, hey, if you're gonna watch this, we kind of like said we are asking you politely to go watch the original animation show first, then watch the live action because God, Avatar is so good, and we were like trying to convince people to watch it. Unless you were my sister who saw the M. Night Shyamalan movie first and refuses to watch the animation. I'm like, no. I'm like, you don't say, well, that was good. Like, no, that was terrible. Because I thought for Shyamalan, he was going to give me the Attack of the Air Temple. Because I felt like, oh, they got a new card. It's not A. Cool. Nope, I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong.
Yeah, I
About that
hated the Avatar movie. I hated that Avatar movie because it was like you're calling it the same thing as we're used to with the anime, and it has nothing to do with the anime. It has something to do with environmentalism or something. It's like,
Oh man, they couldn't even get his name right. But the only thing
yeah,
about that actor who played Aang, he was the only one that knew the show, the only one that watched the show, and that's kind of how he was casted into it. So I'm not gonna blame him. I think
but
the hate he got
that
was
was cool.
slightly unjustified, very much unjustified, I should say. But don't blame him. Blame Shyamalan. Blame the producers. Blame the writers. No, we do have the producers to blame because one of the producers was watching the show with his children at the time, and he said, this will make a really good movie. And the children went to their dad like, Dad, make the movie. It's even on the damn DVDs on the special. So, I gotta clean my head
I
right
mean,
now.
because I watched the original anime and then I watched the Last Airbender, and my point is that they called it the Last Airbender because they couldn't call it Avatar the Last Airbender because Avatar was already out,
Hey,
and
Dan.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like it was crud because of that, but
Oh.
Yeah, that's why James couldn't call that. That's why he's gonna call it James Cameron's Avatar, just to clarify a bunch of things.
right.
So, yep. Anyway,
Yeah,
uh, in Shonen Jump news, Shueisha has launched, I can't pronounce it, that Diga, or should we say, a label for Jump digital art books with multiple works releasing on November 11th of this year. The initial lineup includes Claymore, D.Gray-man, Kuroko's Basketball, and Twin Star Exodus,
Ooh.
Mizuko, and Buso Rinkin. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing all these names right. And funny enough, that Claymore and other news,
Good job,
Claymore
by
is
the
no
way.
longer available on Crunchyroll. That pisses me off.
We'll get to that.
I don't
We'll
know
get to
why.
that in a moment.
that
Different
We'll
reasons.
get to that.
We'll get to that later. But so a lot of these series are interesting that they're getting the first initial lineup, but also, damn, you get to see some of the art books that you gotta wonder, like, what was the process, how things were made, and some of these are really interesting series to look out for. Like even my former boss, who's no longer working,
yeah.
he does love Berserk, but he really loves Claymore. So if he was at work, I would say, dude, look at this. He'd probably be over the moon for this one.
Yeah, the thing about Crunchyroll is similar to anything else that you're streaming, and they could take anything away from you, but if you buy it on DVD or something, you have it, and and that's how come I'm more on to buying physical media because no one could take your physical media away from you, you know. But they can take your shows away from you if it's streamed to you. You know, I hope you understand what I mean.
Yes.
I like I like the artwork for these shows too.
Anime.
I'm
Yeah,
excited for this. I'm glad we're getting new ways to enjoy the classics, like the classic animes, And
Well, the
I like
art
that.
books
I
may not be a classic way, but just seeing the
sorry.
art book is one thing, just truly amazing.
Yeah, these look amazing, and from the looks of it, I know this is actual opinion here. Um, I don't see any AI art, so thank God. Because don't get me started on that
Oh
Mortal Kombat.
God,
Don't get me started on that Mortal Kombat book. Do not get me started. I was so
Wait,
pissed.
I bet.
wait, what? Say that again.
Yeah, there was an art book of Mortal Kombat. They used AI generated stuff, and it's terrible. They fucked up Melina, they fucked up Kitana, and a few others. I am not joking.
Phoenix would be raging right now if he was here.
He would.
I
Have a
bet.
good
Probably
one,
have to send a
Raquel. Thank you
speech
for
of
coming
him.
by, buddy.
No, that's fine, Raquel. That's fine, buddy. Take care. Take care of yourself. But at the same time, since we are talking about Claymore, we still have to remember that I'm still mad because it's Jeremiah said that, like Crunchyroll, Netflix, and several others, part of this is licensing agreement. You probably only have it up to a certain point in time. You could renew it and be like, yeah, keep it on forever. But this is why physical media shall and will forever be important, people. If, like Jeremiah said, once it's yours, you buy it, it's yours forever. No one will take that away. You go to a site like Crunchyroll and a few others, they'll just start pulling stuff once the license is gone. That's why Obsecure is hard to find now these days because no one bought the rights anymore. Crunchyroll and Funimation, well, mostly Funimation because they before Funimation died off. Years ago, they had the license
Yeah.
for one, but they let it expire and then gone like that. The same thing with Rosario plus Vampire, gone like that, and a few others. So that's why I've been trying to find my Sekiro stuff. Can't find Volume 5 anywhere. But on the DVD and Blu-ray side of things, I got both of them. Or do I just have one? I think I just have one of them. Same
Yeah.
thing. I don't know what's happened to Ikitusen. I know I have the original anime on DVD, so I'm trying to find the second one. Probably have to go for the refurbished, but that's just what makes me mad that it's
Yeah.
gone. So it's a classic, very, very classic anime. Even though it didn't adapt fully the manga, it nailed the look and tone right away. And I wish they would bring this back in anime form because I do have to. Let me grab my. Remind people because this is still years away. I know Jeremiah's not going to be happy, and I'm still not happy. Out of all the mangas to adapt, why this one in live
Why?
action?
Live action, yeah.
This is from like we covered this
Live
early in the year.
action.
Hey,
We covered
Sherry,
this
what's
early in the
up?
year. But how are they still going to do this? I don't know. I love this art. Oh God, this is so good.
Yeah.
But why are we still adapting this in live action? CBS. That was the problem with Netflix
Because
One Piece being so successful and a few
Because
others.
we're rich and we can. Because we're rich and we can. That's why.
They probably saw the success
They,
of The Witcher doing well, at least for season one, and
yeah.
the first South Korean animation doing well, and it's like, well, let's do another one. What we got to adapt? Just why? But let's move on. I don't have the courage to go through all that
Joker.
again. But in a positive news and in positive outlight, Elfen Lied Complete Addiction Blu-ray re-released next year or early month next year. So yay! For those who get this is a classic manga, classic.
Elfin Lead, huh?
Also, for those who are fans of Stranger Things,
Yes.
there is a hint for Elfen Lied. Look at season 1 with the tube that L is in. The tube reminds us from Elfen Lied along with her outfit she wore. Also, 11 sounds a lot like L. And the Duffer Brothers have admitted that Alpha Lee was an inspiration. So, yay! So you owe yourself to watch Alpha Lee. Although the manga and anime are
Now,
slightly different,
now,
though.
now, if you know Americans and everyone else who doesn't speak Japanese will see this and be like, Elfin lied?
Alpha Lee.
You know? I know it's lead, but someone who doesn't speak Japanese would definitely say lied because it's Lied. You know? Yeah. Because that's what a lot of people do. They misspell or mispronounce a lot of other Japanese names and things. You know, so it's common. So it's like that's what I saw when I first saw it, and you said it correctly, sure, but I saw it and thought lied at first myself because it's spelling. You know. Uh, um, and I'm just trying to point out that they would do that is mispronounce it, you know.
I know it's a little
Ignorance.
hard pronunciation, but that's how they spell it. Elfin Lee. So that's how we say it.
Yeah,
Anime Night, are you
yeah,
happy for Elfin Lee's return?
Yes,
right. I
yes.
understand. I just pointed it
Yep.
out, you know.
Understandable, Jeremiah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer the question, yes, I am. I'm very happy that we're getting it's a complete collection, guys. It is the complete collection. Uh
Cool.
and Blu-ray, yes, I know Blu-ray. I know it's some players don't play it, but hey, at least we got something out of it. I am very, very happy for this. It's another W for physical media, Joker. It's another W
Oh yeah.
because as we always we beat the war drum of physical media. We want to preserve everything because digitally, yeah, it's nice to have, but what happens if
Convenient.
the wrong button and convenient, yes, but what happens if somebody
Yeah.
pushes the wrong button? Poof, gone.
Well, and I
Meanwhile,
want to
with
point
physical
out,
media, you could watch it any time.
yeah,
Like, like
and
Jeremiah said,
I want to point out that physical media has been like
I'll be
that
right back, guys.
for centuries. You know, the 78 RPM records, as we call them, were where all your original artists were on, and then when the new record types came out, they weren't on. All of them were on there. You know, a lot of them were, but most of them were left to the wayside, just like it does now for new media. And you got hardly anything on the new media that we remember when we were kids, you know. So,
there was something special by going to a rental store and seeing all these like movies I
oh
never even
yeah,
heard about, shows, some games that looked
I went to
interesting.
Blockbuster. Blockbuster was the first time I saw Go-Go 13, the professional,
Ooh, nice, very nice. And
on
what
VHS.
VHS? I still remember when VHS was still a thing before that completely died out, and then went to DVDs and Blu-rays.
DVD.
Still remember seeing
And
classic.
DVD, funny thing people don't remember about DVDs when they first came out, Blockbuster had the VHS stickers that they would put on their VHS, say, please be kind, rewind, right? And so DVDs come out and they put it on those as well. And it's like, you don't even rewind a DVD.
Oh wow, that's history.
Silly.
You're giving us some a good history lesson right here. So
Yeah. The first DVDs that they had those stickers on them because they didn't know that they were different. They weren't requiring you to uh, rewind them like the VHS tapes would, So yeah.
Yeah, that's kind
So
of funny.
yeah, I always thought so too.
All right, if we
I've
want to go
always
really
been a technical minded type too, as well.
okay, but speaking about stuff that's slowly coming back, I don't know how I feel about this right now. So Halo,
Oh,
yes, the
Halo.
rumors were true. Halo Combat Evolved is
Oh,
getting the full blown remake treatment. It is early in development by Halo Studios. Yes, it's going to be coming to the Xbox family, Xbox on PC and cloud, Steam, NES, PlayStation 5. The console wars have finally ended because
Yeah.
Microsoft, I think, just gave up. Sorry, I'm going to be that guy. But the true thing, the horror about this is, yes, it is early on in development, so a lot of this stuff is just pending. So expect some changes to come through
oh.
in the months to come.
I'm doubtful. I'm
But
doubtful
the
your
point,
comment
but the
about
answer,
console war. I'm doubtful about your comment about the console war ending because of the
at least
fact that they don't have the Nintendo Switch on there.
at least for Microsoft and Sony, that was always the console war. Who was better, Sony or Microsoft? You all know the answer for
All
Nintendo
right.
has been good, but the main console between the two powerhouse, Microsoft and Sony, has ended. Now it's just Nintendo versus Sony again versus PC. But here's the thing I'm really
Right.
skeptical about is all the different changes they're making. Yes, they're making this more modernized. They're going to be fixing a lot of things, some issues that weren't quite there. Like they're adding a sprint button now, which I'm like, this is Halo. It doesn't need to sprint. This is like the first game. The first game didn't have a sprint until like
Right.
the first game never had sprint. In fact, the first multiple games never had sprint until Halo Reach, which they added all the Spartan abilities to that. So that's how you got the
Oh.
sprint. And like four, and
Yeah,
then
I
like
don't remember playing that one.
oh,
I
the
remember
early
playing a
was
Halo,
special.
but I don't remember that one.
Bungie was special when they made Combat Evolve, man. When you land on Reach for the first time, it was like something special. Like I gotta show you guys like the for Halo, like what the ring
Yeah.
used to look like in the original Combat Evolve. Like perfect example between like the slight difference because I wish they would show this the side by side just a little bit. But here's what the original ring used to look like. Slightly, if this no, go back. That's what the ring used to look like. And then you look at Combat Evolve, which again, this is why I'm going to keep saying this is like pending. So I think eventually this will get fixed because even like for when Blue Point did Demon Souls, there's a lot of pauses that people said they saw, but some things felt missing from the original. So again, I'm gonna go very skeptical because that first Halo game was special. It made Microsoft a household name. So they better not screw up because some of the original developers are complaining. And when when the OG devs complain, it's like a what's going on here? I know it's Unreal
Yeah.
Engine 5. That's very iffy for me. But this is a wait and see right now. They have time to delay this game indefinitely if things are looking up to standards. So this is a big, huge wait and see until there's a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I am an A.
This first off, hello Trollmonger. Hope you're doing good. Um, this really is the pinnacle. Hey, I'm gonna blow myself up for a moment. This is the pinnacle of Xbox admitting defeat. It's been a long time coming, ever since Combat Evolved and everything, and it goes to show that what do we have left to prove? And it's like, here, PlayStation, we're gonna give you the chance here to run our game, and you could say the same thing with like Call of Duty, but everybody knows Call of
So
Duty.
true.
Everybody did the Call of Duty did start on the PlayStation. Yes, that is very true. But when it moved over, it wasn't no one cared. However, this is Halo, the flagship of what made Xbox the global phenomenon that it was, and 360 at the time. So to me, I will sympathize. I will agree with Joker to the degree that yes, the console wars are definitely over because this has been a long time coming. This has been a very,
Okay.
very long time. And if you went back in 2008 and told people this, they would look at you like you're crazy. They would look at you like you're crazy. But this looks good. I like how it looks. It looks clean. The setting is right. The weapons are right. So it looks like with the help of Xbox, they're getting stuff together of what keeps the identity here, because identity is very important. But this is early stuff. We don't know what the final product is going to look like, let alone the trailers. So I am not holding my breath, but I am curious though of how this is going to go. You don't want to know. You don't want to know, Chillmonger. You don't want to know.
To me, we're going to have to wait and see how things go, if this could be the right direction that Halo goes into. At the same time, that original Halo game right now is kind of slightly vaporware, just a little bit. Because if those who still have their copies, hopefully they have it, and maybe they'll look at that and be like, here's what the art direction was like. I think the best version is the Combat Evolve Anniversary that they did, because you can switch between the two graphic styles of the original and old school, but we'll have to wait and see. But you know what we haven't seen in a while? This post may be old because they delayed Fable. I know this one's an old post. Oh, supposed to get in 2025. No, sorry, it's been delayed till 2026. But at this point, for how much time this game has been delayed significantly, I don't think this game exists. I'm about to say this. I don't think the new Fable game by Playground Games ever it could exist, or it could be gone for good. Because I remember when this game was announced. This game was announced at what was it? It was announced in 2020. Multiple years go by. Multiple people leave the project. Multiple people confirm that it's still in product. It's still in gameplay. Okay, but why are we putting a game studio development company that is significantly known for making car games, making a 3D action game with some assistance from Eidos Montreal?
Yeah,
Ooh.
sounds vaguely familiar.
So they're definitely retooling their
Metroid
entire
Prime
engine
4.
to make this go. But remember, we haven't seen a whole lot of this, and it's like, no, don't worry, guys, it's coming out, it's coming out. Like, you can say that all you want, but until I see something like an actual trailer again, then I'm getting skeptical. Hell, if this game's not at the Game Awards, I'm going to be saying, where's it, Microsoft? You better have something.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, and I understand because as Metroid Prime 4, same thing. Every
Yeah.
time, oh, it's coming out. We're gonna make it. And it's like, when?
And then we
When's
finally
it
got
coming out?
it after waiting for so long, and it's like, there it is. It exists. It's real.
Yeah, for real. It's,
Anyway, your thoughts so far? Because even though I'm bringing up an old topic, it's still true to this day,
Singing.
because where is Fable? Where is this darn game?
We're Joker. We're 2 months away from 2025 ending. I'm just as baffled and confused as you are. I forgot this game existed. I completely forgot this game existed. And now it's like, is this even coming out? Because I said the same thing about Mouse PI for games coming out in March. So I got my answer there. But here though, it's like, just say you're coming out in 2026. This point, it's like, look, sorry, we were going to do a 2025 release, but given everything that's happening with the wheel and everything, we're going to shoot for a February 2026 release. That's it. That's all they could do at this point.
I think they did announce it. I can't quite find the post, but at the same time, it just feels like, oh, like what happened to Wilds and what that game. That game became vaporware because people were like, no, we weren't working. They were working on it, but then that kind of game went away for a while. And right now, what's practically is vaporware at this point is Beyond Good Evil 2. Ubisoft can still keep saying that, oh, we're still working on it, but even that game is like, I don't have faith in the current writers at Ubisoft, what they were all working on over there. It feels like that game could just be gone at this point with very little updates right now, but we got to move on. So I found some interesting stuff on here. A movie adaptation adult animation series based on Something is Killing the Children is in a work at Blumhouse. The story follows a town where children go missing, and if without return, have terrible stories of terrifying creatures. So I'm like, okay, have no idea what this is, but I like discovering new stuff. Could be good, it could be bad, but apparently this is based upon a comic book series of the same name, an ongoing comic book series written by, well, let's pull it up here, James T. DeFore and artist Weather Dale. Okay. And this is kind of what it looks like, just a little bit, but okay, we got something. So, comic book series, good. It's not Marvel and DC, wonderful. Getting all the indie guys out there, thank you. So I'm interested. I'm interested in this. So I love the art style so far. I hope this kind of matches this look for what they're going for, and kind of take it from there, because I love seeing new stuff on the big screen and the small screen.
Okay, cool.
Ooh. This looks good. Blumhouse is really impressing me with their movies and everything. From what Joker, correct me. Did they make Weapons?
They did not make Weapons. That was
okay. That was a different studio. Okay, I confused the two, but I'm very excited for this. Blumhouse knows what they're doing. I love their work and everything. I'm very excited for this. It's just a lot of inspiration.
So I wish the best of luck to whoever's going to adapt this. Hopefully the creators are still on top of this, because again, don't let people mess with your work if you don't think it's going to be good. So keep on it right there. But I got some more. If you're a fighting game fan, Soul Calibur 3 is coming to the PlayStation catalog later this year. Playable on the PS5 and PS4. Will include trophies for and a standalone edition will be able for purchase as well. So thank you. The fighting game community is adding another game to the catalog. Thank you. I want more games to catalog. There's such a huge a lineup of shows that are not games that need to be added to the catalog. I still remember when Sly Cooper was added. I was so happy. And when Dino Crisis was added, it was just on the more subscription side, which a lot of us were
Oh,
upset about, until there was enough fan campaign that they're like, all right, you can buy it separately. You don't need the darn subscription no more. So that was a good save, at least.
do do they still have the characters from Nintendo like Link?
This will be for the PlayStation version. So with the licensing agreement, there won't be links in this version, but I believe Soul Calibur 3 was, if you had the GameCube, you did get Link with that version of the game. So I think so.
Right.
I remember I remember Link one of Link's attacks very in that game involving Ivy and the spanking of the ass. I'm gonna I'm gonna leave it at that. That was my favorite attack to use for obvious reasons, and I don't regret that one
Oh
bit.
To answer the question, Trollmonger, how many seasons did the Halo show last on Disney and
Oh,
Hulu Plus? 2 seasons. It lasted for 2 seasons before it's canceled. Although strangely, right now it found a new home on Netflix, and it did some decent numbers. I think the last time I checked it was at top 4 for a while. So take that what you will. That does not mean it's going to get revived. If they're going to redo Halo, reboot the entire show. Adapt the books. Adapt the game. It's not that hard to do, people. It's not. I can make a better show with Phoenix. We would say, we're going to adapt game one, do exactly this way. You add in elements that the Ackman said you should add in. And then at the end of the season, you could do a face reveal or just hint at who Master Chief is under the helmet. It's like, it's not that hard. It was a simple layup. Speaking of layup, we're the big Looney Tunes guys over here. We love our Looney Tunes. We're still waiting
oh yeah, me too.
for the kind of
I,
this Ackman next year. But
yes,
according to
the
Tubi,
I
head of accusation says by total time viewing, Looney Tunes is in Tubi's top 10 best performing series.
uh, see, ladies and gentlemen, Tubi gets it. Tubi
I
gets it.
like WB over there.
They
I'd be
see they
surprised if the Forbidden 11 would be in it though.
I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, but goes to show. Look at the difference between Tubi and WB. Zlavs
Right.
and Samuel. Samuel is a fan. You can tell because he you could just tell, and he's like, "Hey,
Okay.
Looney Tunes is doing great. Let's give it all the praise and it does deserve the praise." Looney Tunes has been around as long as I can remember as a kid, and
Even
it
longer
still
than
has
us being existing.
yep, and it still has the staying power. I mean, me and Joker, we've been pushing and pushing and rallying
Oh yeah.
Howie versus Acme, and thank God next year we're gonna get a release of that movie, and and we don't want this to go down. When we heard that HBO Max got rid of it, we're like, is there not one streaming service that shows the class some respect? Enter and hey, I might buy a subscription for Tubi. I might, but we'll see. Um, Tubi is doing the right thing. Tubi is doing the right thing and preserving the Looney Tunes, making it widely available, and I'm
Yeah.
very proud of that. It's in the top 10 too. That is crazy. That is crazy.
And I'm
We
not
don't know. We
denying that. I'm not denying that it's just really hard because a lot of the Forbidden 11 animated shorts and all that are still Forbidden 11. You know, they're like we don't want to show this because of this reason or that. It's like can't can't enjoy history.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah. That's
There's never
why
been
I doubt it,
a
because it's so hard to believe it. You know.
I mean, like, absolutely. It's great to see that people are still liking Looney Tunes. And I know there's like an old channel that I think it's still around that, at least in my area, that every once in a while I'll flip it on and it's like, oh, I see classic Looney Tunes is still playing. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch like a full day of this, like just nonstop watching, Hocus
Right.
Pocus. Abracadabra. Oh, you can't get any more
Yeah.
classic than that. But again, I'm still excited to see kind of his acting this year. I still think it's still great. Hell, Tubi, somebody please out there, bring back all the classics on the collector's edition, and I will buy that up completely. Completely, I will.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving forward, it's been 30 years since. Oh my God, there's nothing. Golden Boy. I'm trying to say that Golden Boy has been out since 30 years ago, and I see my
Con-
my my biker character who I like so much that if Fado was here, he's like, she was just drawn in a certain way where I was like, so 30 years of Golden Boy, and it's an anime that could never be made today outside of High School DxD and a few others. So you could get away with it. You could get away with it. But 30 years of Golden Boy, 30 years of classical comedy that people need to understand that it's a comedy. Have fun with it.
yeah, really.
So there's that as well. What else do I have over here? I know I got like one more over here. No, that's that. But since we're all talking about the old school stuff, how about a quick glimpse of the stop motion process of LAIKA's new film, Wildwood? I just love seeing stop motion.
Oh,
People, stuff like this is artwork.
Oh
Every
yeah.
stop motion film I've seen, it's just so beautiful. The lighting, the cinematography, the time that goes into stuff like this, just probably just to get like a few frames at most that might not last that long, but it's all amazing. I love this
Right.
stuff. It's amazing.
and look, and look at the detail. This is all prop work, ladies and gentlemen. This is the stuff they did with Terminator, Star Wars, our favorite franchises. This is where it came from, ladies and gentlemen. Models
Yeah.
and everything. We need to go back to this. Yes, I like the animation as much as the next guy in 3D animation and all of that and CGI. But we gotta go back to basics. Stop motion is still going strong today, as well as claymation and a few others as well. This right here, I respect. I cannot wait to see this movie. This looks amazing.
I just like how it moves. Like,
Um.
too, they got the motion right. They got the actual, like, they studied this. And Leica, I love Leica's work. They've done so well within the clay animation world that they just keep on building and building upon their craft. I keep saying the most beautiful work, in my opinion, is Kubo and the Two Strings, and I'm excited for this.
Ooh,
So good.
I remember what I was thinking of. A robot chicken.
that too.
That
That
too,
too.
Robot still is around.
Very
They have
popular.
some very good, talented people over there.
Yeah, I mean original. Like when it started and stuff. It was so good back then. You know, even the intro sequence had the doctor putting the chicken in the seat and everything with
Sick.
the cam you know, it was so funny and so interesting, different, something. Uh, Green was really good at Seth Green, I think, was really good at putting that together with his crew.
So yeah,
Um,
Steph was pretty good at getting some of the other stuff like off the ground or whatnot and
yeah.
whatnot and so stuff. But I got some more anime news over here. Ghost in the Shell,
Okay.
I guess you could say this one's going to be the more proper adaptation of the manga, or how close they're going to be. That apparently there was a mistake. That apparently they had the January 2026 release date on the website, but it was taken down. So I still
Ooh.
do want to see this in the works. Sadly, the original voice actress for the Major did pass away. Or was it a year ago? I think now. But
Correct me.
I'll miss
Correct.
her.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was the Japanese VA, right?
it was the Japanese VA. That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure I'm all caught up on the
Yeah,
news
the
with
Japanese VA passed away a while ago. I know our good friend George. He he really really loves the actress, and to my respect to him, that he is getting a little better, but it did affect him the most out there. And I can understand. Like the Major is special. She was a very very talented actress for the Japanese VA, and I think it was during Fenry when they were doing interviews about that. I think you could tell that she was running out of time, and that kind of makes those scenes in the interviews a little bit more heartbreaking because she didn't want it to end. She wanted to continue,
Now I wish
etc.
I could buy the DVD of the Japanese version so I could.
I do have Standalone Complex GI. I was at
Yeah,
my Walmart one night and I was doing like a late run. I'm like, what am I doing here? I might as well buy something. Lo and behold, it was Ghost in the Shell. I was like, oh my god, it's Ghost in the Shell.
Oh
So I
yeah.
picked that up right away. So
I'm excited for this. This looks I like the Joker, scroll down a little bit for the cover. Let's get this look. Look at detail. This is a callback to the classic 1990s film,
it
and
is more
but
accurate to the
this is
model. So if you had this type of
it
hairstyle,
is.
oh,
And
I
I'm like,
I have the
this
VHS for
good.
the film.
I'm
nice.
genuinely excited.
I'm jealous of you.
We're still waiting for that release.
Yeah,
We're still waiting on the release date, ladies and gentlemen. We do not we know it's in 2026. We just don't know when. We just don't know when in
right.
2026. But you bet your ass I'm gonna sit down and watch this. I'm gonna put everything aside that I know of Ghost in the Show, standalone complex in the movie. I want to watch this purely by itself, like on its own.
Right.
Because that's what I did with the Ghost in the Shell live action movie with Scarlett Johansson, who I still think
Oh,
did a
okay.
who I still believe did a fantastic job as the Major. I still firmly
I think she
believe
did
Well,
that.
too. Because, there's a lot of people out there.
I,
When the
I didn't see
uh,
the live action one.
I thought it was
I only
decent enough to
saw
get by.
yeah. I
It
only have
definitely.
the original VHS of the original show
Oh damn! I'm
movie.
jealous. I'm jealous, man. I wish I had the original VS, but I too young at the time. But going back to the
Well,
movie for the live action, Johansson was definitely the best part. They got some of the look right down with the cyberpunk setting. A lot of the cast actually were kind of accurate to the characters. Like the guy playing Batosai, once he got on the famous eyes he has that he's known for,
oh
with
yeah,
the trench coat and the haircut, I was like, oh my god, that's Batosai. The right height, the right look. This is awesome. Even somehow they managed to get beat Takeshi to be the leader. Granted, he was given the English screenplay as well, but he didn't like the English screenplay. He refused to speak in English, so he was mostly speaking in Japanese, which I don't blame him, which led to the most famous, infamous line in the movie, which I still quote to this day. Never send a rabbit to do a fox's job. He made it sound so badass. I was like, dude, that was worth the ticket admission.
Yeah, for
Definitely the story was a little the weaker side. I think I understand what they were trying to go for with Johansson slightly looking or resembling the original daughter who was, Asian descent, because the mom's like, you kind of remind me of my daughter. Like, I don't think she was Asian. And she was just saying that you just remind me, because I know there are people out there, they're like, oh, you used to remind me of my son, daughter. Like, I think that's what they're trying to go for. I think that went a lot over people's head, because end of the film, she's like, my name is Makoto. I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand it. But I wish it did better, because I liked the film for the most part, but I can understand why it slightly bombed the box office. But I'm still excited for this. It's going to be more faithful adaptation, like we said, but how faithful will be, we'll have to wait and see until probably next year at that time when it does come out. But I'm almost running out of stuff, sadly. But apparently for Dark Deception, this is something that was shown off a while ago. They added someone brand new to the game, so someone who's going to be voicing later is the great Jeremy Lee.
Ooh,
So
for those who
Jeremy
don't,
Lee,
for those who don't know, she voices Sarah Venus. I got to personally meet her in person. Very wonderful lady, very down to earth, and very fun to talk to. This is a great show. I'm very excited for her, and I cannot wait to see I cannot wait to see what happens. Dark Deception, I have yet to play. I have yet to play Dark Deception, but I will, and I will be getting the chapters pretty soon. So this one will be on there. I am very excited to see what she does. Always great to see familiar faces. Very, very talented, lady.
oh yeah.
Hey, Callie. But
I
again, I'm excited.
I got excited when Cyberpunk came out because it has 2077 as its part of its title, and I'm like, I hope I could live to be 100 so I could see that. And,
the running joke of that the game's going to come out in 2027. So no, I'm glad you got to play
no,
it. So
I was born in 1977, so 2077 I'll be 100, and
oh wow.
so if it comes true, and that we'll have this society that is portrayed in Cyberpunk, then I'll be 100 when it happens. Just like people were like, well, we're gonna get flying cars and everything like the Jetsons in the '60s, because it's set in the 2000s, 20, 21st or 20th century, So it's like we didn't get it, but then at least I'll be able to say it didn't happen or it did happen, depending on whatever happens. But I'll be 100 when it does. It,
Oh, absolutely.
I thought, yeah, I thought that would be interesting to tell y'all. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Of course, I'd have to wait. I'll be 100 in April, so I'll have to wait a few months after January.
um, Joker, your thoughts?
I do like Jeremy Lee. She's very talented. I'm one of the other VAs that keeps like, you're close, but not close enough to my convention, so can't quite go there quite yet. I think she's talented. She's got a lot of great lineups to her name, so adding her to Dark Deception is a pretty bold move, and I'm a little bit excited to see a little bit more of the game when it does release in the future. So, we kind of got some look of it. I think we slightly saw this, just a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see.
Wow.
Kind of going up here, so I'm like, okay, kind of like what I see. So things are looking bright, but also kind of wait and see. But adding Jeremy, that's a cool move. So it's got my
Who's
attention
the
now. She's in it.
who's the pink one in the picture with the top hat?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that.
That
Right,
it's because
she's the one.
it reminds me of
Familiar.
Depp, you know, and his portrayal of Wonka.
It could be inspiration for his take on um Willy Wonka. So kind of a good eye for that one. But we'll have to wait and see what some of these characters are going to be like. I got another horror game, or at least something that's introduced to the floor. It's a new upcoming survival horror game that's due out for PC and console next year. You play Jessica, who arrives in a small town Joint Cliff just as it descends into madness, forcing you to solve puzzles and survive against rapidly evolving monstrous enemies.
Ooh.
I kind of like the premise right now.
Oh, the florist.
There we go.
Jessica Park. Oh. Okay, Joker. You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. This is like this. And it's something different too. I like it when it's like something different. Because we all like
Yeah.
the monsters and serial killers and the like. We could do that all day, every day, and with Resident Evil as well. But I like it when things expand a lot more. Like, this will probably make you look at plants twice. Be like, is that plant gonna kill me? Hey, Patty Commander, what's up? But I like this though. This is gonna be really cool, and it's an indie game. I'm for it. I am most definitely for it.
Well, at least Indy has gotten out of the 8-bit era and into the 3D era, if you know what I mean. A lot of indie developers tend to do side scroller
Inspiration, we got
platformers.
inspired from that, which is both
Yeah.
great, but also slightly of a curse right there, mostly because it's a little strange because sometimes, you'll see some of these great indie games come out or games that look cool, but sometimes they don't push the envelope. Is that good or bad? Depending on the individual.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll play stuff that reminds me of the classics and be like, this is good, but you didn't do quite too much, which is fine and all.
Right.
Others do push the envelope even more, where I go like, oh man, this would have hit the right time period in that spot that it came out. But it really does depend out there. But sometimes you really got to find the good stuff out there. And speaking about good, because I told them about this, I was playing the demo. The demo
People wait.
ended at the spot. We have a release date for probably one of my favorite games this year that I will promise to everybody I will stream this for the channel, and it's called Sleepaway. What it's about? We're in a world where sleeping is a mistake, where you're on the last known surviving city that everybody has to stay awake. Why can't we sleep? This is very much a psychological horror thriller mystery, and
Ah.
going into the psychedelic aspect. Since, guess what? You cannot sleep. If you do sleep, you will die. You will disappear. So pretty much sleep paralysis.
So worse than Freddy Krueger?
Probably combination Freddy Krueger, because when I play the demo, they keep mentioning this thing called the Hush. What is the Hush? I have no idea until I saw what they look like, and I think they do show it in the trailer a little bit on what the Hush looked like. This scene was messed up. Well, I don't know what that is right now, but you do see signs like this throughout the city. I wish my PC was upgraded more because I could see more detail, but there is stuff
Right.
within this world that pretty much will say that this is not the society that we think it is. Just because it's one of the last cities does not mean that it's safe. You pretty much have people protesting. You see signs like this around. What is the DTM? These are the people that are in charge or whatnot. Hell, there's even a most screwed up scene that you hear a woman and child cry, and yet they're telling you, we warned you to stay inside, and the unthinkable happened. So very messed up. I know Ammonite's going, oh, really? That was just in the demo alone. I cannot imagine what else is out there. You see signs of people disappearing, missing, saying that this person's missing, we need to find them or do something. It's one of those things I love the most about horror, because horror doesn't have to be presented to you right away. Horror is meant to make you disturbed. Like the old saying, art is meant to disturb the comfort, but sure comfort the disturbed. And this game feels very disturbing to me that it's also comforting me at the same time. And it's by the person who Corey Davis backed up the lines, and one of the musicians from Nine Inch Nails, Robin Fink. So far the score is pretty good. But what's going on in this game? I don't know. It was just the demo. And the demo sold me on this. So eyes out. You have a buyer. I will buy this game day one. I'm excited. It's what I played in demo. Scared the living hell out of me for a couple stuff. But this also does that full how do you say FMV, full music video, AMV video?
Yeah.
Because they do all the live.
FMV
Yep. Thank you. And some of the stuff is still like, okay, this will be explained later in the game, like the usual suspects. But some of these are done really well enough that I'm like, damn, I could watch a movie. But they are movies. So you still play a game, but you'll have these weird, trippy sequences out there where you go, what the hell is happening? And I'm sure it'll be explained later in the game. So I'm excited for December 2nd. I still got to wait a month and a half for this. But I don't care. Give it to me now. Give me another demo. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is really good. This looks amazing. And Joker, you sold me. You sold me on the demos, so I will definitely be checking out the demos. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is how word of mouth happens. Joker sold me. He sold me the soda. He sold me on the soda. Why should I drink Sprite? He sold me why I should drink it. And there you go. So yes, I will definitely check this game out. You know what this game reminds me of? I see similarities and inspirations
We also
from
talked about this last time. Reminds up Dead Space 2 during the laser eye sequence.
that and Outlast and Evil Within.
But now we get more look. Where's the other stuff? I know you're someone like these guys are terrifying. These are the guys that patrol the streets at night.
Holy crap! That's the that look. Somebody played Half-Life. That looks like a Combine helmet right there. Somebody's been playing Half-Life. That's actually a good callback or a good reference. Only scarier. Only scarier. I like how this looks.
See if I can find one of the. Let me see if I can find that other thing that And you're like, here's another close up of these guys. But remember, they're not allowed to sleep, so you gotta wonder, how are these guys staying awake? And you're wondering, what the hell is everybody staying awake for? That's the thing about this. They keep the mystery alive. You have no idea what's out there, and that's why they're like, for the love of God, don't sleep. And the more that keeps on repeating, the more I am both terrified and wondering what is out there. It's not what's on the inside you gotta be afraid of. It's what's out there in the darkness.
Yeah.
Like this is the perfect example right here. Missing. Like this kid's been missing for a while. In the game, he's only 6 years old. A 6-year-old is missing. There could be people being younger or even older than him. So think about that when you're playing it. All right, this scene. This is probably the last thing I'm going to spoil about the game, but this scene was very disturbing. And I had a better PC, would have been even more disturbing. But this scene, I can't play it. But man, it's creepy. But again, if you want to know what more, comes out on December 2nd. And this is going to be very important. Because look where it's going in.
Oh.
The eye.
Very cool. So we'll be getting 2 good games coming out in December.
Yes. Yep, in December. So it will be available on PC, the Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation. So congratulations to Eyes Out. I'm excited for that. But that is it for me. That's all the news I pretty much have right now. So Ammonite, you have anything else to share? Please share it with us before we end out here.
All right. So apparently, I don't know if we talked about this or not. Illumination and Nintendo are planning a shared cinematic universe for Mario and Friends. A Donkey Kong movie is already in active development, while Luigi's Mansion and a Princess Peach spinoff are also in the works. They're aiming to introduce more Nintendo characters through their own films, and all leading up to a massive Super Smash Bros. Movie event.
Could it be true? Could it not be true? But I do want to say I think this is a good idea to do if it is true.
Yeah.
You still do the Mario stuff with people that we do know, and if there is going to be these spin-offs, like obviously Donkey Kong has already been the work. You can introduce the whole family again that we saw that one shot, and then introduce King Croc. What was it? King Crocodile? Was it?
I think that was his. That was
King
his
K.
name.
Rool is in the Donkey Kong Country games.
Yep.
King K. Rool.
Yeah, thank you, King Rool.
Yeah. And from if it's going for the Smash Mario Smash type of thing, it is sounding like it's going to be a MCU or something like that.
Because they're going to do the Smash stuff, there's going to be big problems with getting. We'll probably get a relationship with. Well, technically speaking, right now the license are our old place. Universal currently owns the right holds to, again, the Mario license. Nintendo. Paramount is with Sega right now with Sonic. So good luck trying to get all those guys to the licensing.
Yeah. I forgot about those. I was thinking of just the Nintendo characters, really.
Smash Bros. Movies getting everybody in would be a big, huge thing that could rival the MCU and DCU, actually. Do I think it could work? I think it could work better in animation. Because one, it's just licensing. You can do whatever you want with it. Given to the right shareholders and the executive producers, along with all the major companies agreed to it, it could work out in a way. Because I think Smash would be pretty cool on the big screen, seeing our favorite heroes fight with. I want to see Zelda fight Cloud in this as a cameo in the background. I want to see DK get his butt beaten by Bayonetta. Or the little hints of all the other characters. So I think this could work. And the spinoff of Peach, Introduce Daisy that way. Introduce Rosalind that way, even though Rosalind will be in Super Galaxy, which we're getting. Which, to be fair, I'm surprised we're even jumping to Super Galaxy that early on.
I know that surprised me on that one. I'm like, we're already going there.
I mean, I thought we would take our time to build up to Super Galaxy, do all the other stuff first, and then do Super Galaxy. But all right, but in my opinion, I do think that again, it is in the right direction. It's in the right things that you do want to see completely, but also, get the fans excited, get us excited. I think it could still
I'd
work.
want to see a I'd want to see a Metroid movie.
I think Metroid is in the works somewhere by somebody. I just don't know who.
Yeah. I
Shall and
figured it
will.
was. I just wasn't sure. Definitely. I was like hearing the Smash idea was like, okay, they'll probably make a Metroid movie, what is it, Ness, make a Earthbound movie or something, you know,
Hmm.
because there's a
That would
lot
be
of
a good one.
characters. There's a lot of characters in Smash from even Nintendo themselves, you know. And then there's the Zelda, you know, series.
So basically, this is what it would look. This is what it would look like
Oh,
if
Kirby.
if this is just a mock-up of like from a fan of what it would look like, and this is not that far off. This is not. It's almost accurate. We already got the Zelda,
Yeah,
so Zelda is already. We already have the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We already have the Zelda announcement, and then Super Mario Galaxy. So,
yeah.
and of course, if Donkey Kong is being made as it says, this is almost accurate of what we could possibly see in the coming years from now. But
Cool.
but like as Joker said, I'm all for it. I'm excited. I'm glad they're expanding
Oh
upon it
yeah.
rather than doing like what Marvel is doing. Like, don't get me started on
Yeah.
that. But
Well,
this is a kick. But
I
this is a
only
kick in the
mentioned.
pants that the movie industry needs. And
Yeah.
this might actually force Marvel to reconsider. This might force them. And believe me, competition's good. Competition's healthy and it drives people. But
Yeah.
all in all, that's all the news we have for today. We covered a vast amount of topics. Jeremiah, thank you again for coming on by, my dear friend.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Oh yeah.
Big thank you to
I'm
Patty.
all for everything y'all for. So it's like I love the news and everything as well. It's interesting, and I'm informed enough where I know a little bit, but I'm ill-informed where y'all help me out with what I don't know.
And that's the goal. And that's the goal of Knightcast. We strive to inform people like you, Jeremiah, of what is happening in the world of gaming, and as you just said, that's the beauty of it. People walk away from from the show informed and excited and hyped, and that's what we go for. We love doing this.
Yeah.
This is why Nightcast exists, people. We love covering the news, even though whether good, bad, or by God the ugly, we still cover it.
Right.
Regardless of what it is, we still cover it as best as we humanly can. But we keep the political stuff out the doors. This is solely on entertainment. But
Right.
anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you to Jeremiah, Joker, Batty, Callie, Sherry, Troll, Sarah Out Loud, George, Raquel, California Ford, Buzz Avencio, Buzz Ace, thank you. New face in the room. Really great to see you a lot. Also, thank you, Dan, for coming on by. I hope you feel better, my friend. Anyway, guys, we're gonna get
Yeah.
out of here. Bye, guys.